not really a tutorial, but just to get you thinking about something new. If I have a cartoon and I want to create the idea of two different views, here's a ski jump. So I have a skier coming down a snow slope so you can see the angle, and he's coming up into the air, lofting into the air, and now I want the skier to show the skier like moving through trees. So all I did was kind of continue. I have a skier layer, a slope layer, kind of continue. I shifted. It's the same. If you look at the snow, just from one frame to the other, it's the same. These are just two rectangles, and I have the angles here, the middle, but on the next frame, I centered it a little bit, and I took my skier, make him large. You just bear with me here a second. I'm going to show you what I'm gonna be making. Something like this, where I have, excuse me, I have the skiers coming down the slope, and then some trees are rocketing by. You can see how fast the skier is jumping through. So on this tree layer, I'm interested in creating a tree. And it's not easy in this program to make a tree because I only really have a rectangle and ellipse to work with. So I turned off the stroke color. I made that 0. I only need the green color for the triangle. And what I'm going to do is have a big rectangle, and I'm going to use the eraser to kind of cut in half. Maybe I could use a line, that would work better, and increase the size of this. Erase half of this. So I have this rectangle that's been cut in half. And now I'm going to adjust this a little bit. And make my tree. So I have like a little bit of a pine tree. And as a whole, I want to resize all 3 of these objects. I am going to hide the others so I can take this as a whole, make it smaller, and then I want to animate this tree. So I just need to slope back just temporarily to see, is it on the slope? It's not. So I'm going to drag it down a little bit. And I want to keyframe this quickly, so I'm not going to use a whole lot of frames here to grow bigger. So I'm keyframing it, adding 2 keyframes, and I want it to get bigger, and I want it to move forward. I also want my skier to stay in place. So I'm even editing a layer that's invisible. I can bring it back. I'm not sure why this moved. I don't want it to move. So I'm going to delete this and move these. So I have this tree that's growing, and it makes it look like my skier is flying past the tree. I would want to add another layer with this very similar tree tweeting on the other side to create a look that's similar to this. Just thinking about not so much the animation. We know how to animate. We've learned that in WickEditor. But now I want to start thinking about how I can give different perspectives. So the skier's going down the slope, but now I can see it continuing down the slope and trees flying past them and see the different speeds. So we're thinking about how to animate different views.